There's a fire burning in your gut right now. Restlessness. A hunger no easy deal, no flashy headline, no new startup trend can ever satisfy. It's the kind of fire that keeps you awake sometimes. A quiet scream whispering, "Is this all there is?" Because deep down, as an angel investor, you already know the usual game is rigged against you, not by someone else, but by the system itself. The world loves to pretend it's a meritocracy, but every deal, every pitch, every glossy projection is soaked with a hidden agenda. You feel it every time you listen to that founder promising the stars while you're stuck guessing if the product will even survive the first year. You see the patterns no one else dares to see. The polished pitches hiding weak bones, the hype machines drowning real potential under layers of noise, the herd blindly chasing valuations that defy logic. It's exhausting, it's soul-crushing. It's the invisible weight that's slowly stealing the thrill out of investing, replacing it with doubt, frustration, that sick feeling that maybe you're stumbling in the dark while others pretend to hold the map. But here's what most don't get. Your power isn't in chasing the noise, the crowd, the obvious winners that everyone praises on Twitter and the newsletters. No, your power is that rare ability to cut through the madness and see what others simply won't or can't see. You're wired differently. You don't settle for comfort. You don't obey the status quo. You feel the pulse of rebellion, the deep urge to unlearn everything you've been taught about safety and risk, success and failure. Think about it. The best investments, the legendary returns, almost never come from following the crowd. They come from standing alone, from sitting in the uncomfortable place where everyone else fears to step, where ideas are raw, messy, inconvenient, and often downright dangerous. That's where the future is born. That's where your instincts must lead you, even when your gut says the world will call you crazy for betting on the unheard, the outsiders, the wild cards. Here's a truth that cuts like a razor. You are not here to fold yourself neatly into the old systems, to quietly bankroll yet another safe startup that looks like a rehash of what worked yesterday. You are here to fuel the flame of transformation, to back the founders who burn with a fever you once had, the ones who refuse to be tamed by compliance or conventional wisdom. They don't just want to build companies, they want to remake reality. But how do you find them? How do you trust the wild, the unpolished, the rebels when the risk feels like a cliff you're about to dive off, blindfolded? The answer is deceptively simple but brutally hard. You lean into your own radical clarity. The kind of clarity that doesn't just come from spreadsheets and meetings, but from fierce questioning, staring deeply at what others miss, at what scares them, at what the system tries to bury under layers of safe. Look beyond the pitch decks. Watch how founders talk about problems, their own problems, not just market size or growth metrics. Real founders bleed their vision. They fight monsters no one else sees, and they don't just want your money, they want a partner who gets the fight. That's you. Not because you want to be the hero, but because you're one of the few who knows that real progress isn't about playing nice. It's about being ruthless with comfort. This means becoming a different kind of investor, one who doesn't just react, but creates, who doesn't just evaluate, but transforms. You don't wait for success to follow you, you build the conditions for success to rise from chaos. That's why your edge lies in patience. Yes, patience. Not the dull kind, but the kind that burns with intensity beneath the surface. The kind that knows the long game. Who knows the best harvests come from soils that many have abandoned because they wanted their rewards yesterday. Another thing others don't get. The best deals aren't about flashing cash or superficial terms. They're about alignment, a deep, fierce alignment of values, fire, and vision. It's about backing those who are ready to burn anything that tries to cage them. Because only those founders, the rare ones who refuse to bend, yield dividends that change history. Trust your ability to look for that flame in their eyes, in their words, in their scars. Stop listening to noise. Stop following the beckoning sirens of the next big thing. Because those waves crash and drown everything that isn't screaming to be different. Your job is to be the lighthouse for those raging storms, an anchor for the uncommon. And here's the kicker. You're not alone, even if the system insists that you're isolated or a misfit. There's a tribe out there, those burning with the same heat, the same relentless refusal to settle. But they're rare, hidden beneath layers of noise and lies. Find them. Align with them. Fuel each other's fires. This is not networking, it's a forging of new bonds, new forces that tear down walls the world builds. Remember, the world didn't break because ambition died. It broke because it rewarded obedience and punished brilliance. Because it preferred followers over fighters, cages over wings. You, as an angel investor, carry the unique power to break this cycle, to step beyond the chains of comfort and conformity, and to invest not just money, but will, judgment, and soul. Your decisions aren't just about capital, they're about creating freedom. Freedom for founders, freedom for ideas, freedom from systems that stifle greatness. You hold the key to unlocking transformation, not by playing safe, but by daring fiercely. By asking hard questions, by stepping into discomfort, by believing in the impossible, not the popular. So when you face those moments of doubt, when the world screams at you to settle, to conform, to invest in what's easy, remember this. The greatest angel investors don't just see companies and markets. They see potential to unshackle humanity from the chains of mediocrity. They see the rare spark in the dark, the fire waiting to burn down old myths and create something brutally new. The pain you feel, the frustration, the exhaustion, is the sign you're alive, awake, approaching what matters. It's the signal telling you to lean in harder, to trust your instincts more, to rebel not only against the system, but against the easy answers inside your own mind. This journey is not for the faint-hearted. It's for those who burn too brightly to be contained, for those who understand that true freedom isn't granted but taken. It's for those who live knowing the best bets can look like madness to the many, but to us are the only bets worth making. So unleash that fire, trust that restless voice, hunt down those founders who refuse to borrow lives, who'd rather burn than bend. Back the edges, the risk takers, the ones who redefine what's possible, not just what's probable. Because what angel investors truly know, what everyone else misses, is this. Your power lies not in safety or acceptance, but in your willingness to stand wild, ruthless, and ready to become what the world doesn't want to see, yet desperately needs. And once you tap into that power, there's no turning back. The ordinary fades. The noisy fades. All that's left is the raw, unfiltered fire of becoming, and the incredible, dangerous beauty of rewriting the future on your own terms.